Hey friends, what's good? Derek here from B.O.M Socks with another day of B.O.M-BITES, where we feast upon the words of Christ one bite at a time. So today I want to take you into Hebrews chapter 10, and there are sometimes when I am reading certain scriptures, I have wonderful experiences with those scriptures, and then I try to turn around and teach them, and they don't always go that well. Anybody who's tried to teach the gospel, you know, it was such a good experience for you, but then you try to convey that message to someone else, and it's not always the greatest. So this is one of those days where I feel that way, because these verses are so amazing. They're a set of verses from about Hebrews chapter 10, going from about 31 down to the very end, and I just want to read them to you, but I think you having the experience with them is going to be much more powerful than me trying to teach them to you. So Hebrews chapter 10, verse number 31, first of all, is a powerful verse. It is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living God. Let your minds play with that for a moment. But call to remembrance the former days, in which after ye were illuminated, ye endured a great flight of afflictions, partly whilst ye were made a gazing stock both by reproaches and afflictions, and partly whilst you became companions of them who were so used. The New Living Translation says, sometimes you were exposed to public ridicule and were beaten, and sometimes you helped others who were suffering these same things. For ye had compassion of me in my bonds, and took joyfully the spoiling of your goods, knowing in yourselves that ye have in heaven a better and an enduring substance. Like, you endured some of these things because you knew there were good things to come, like we talked about yesterday. Cast not away therefore your confidence, which hath great recompense of reward. The New Living Translation. So do not throw away this confident trust in the Lord. Remember the great reward it brings you. For ye have need of patience, that after ye have done the will of God, ye might receive the promise. For yet a little while, and he that shall come will come, and will not tarry. Now the just shall live by faith. But if any man draw back, my soul shall have no pleasure in him. We are not of them who draw back into perdition, but of them that believe to the saving of the soul. Elder Jeffrey R. Holland, again, I talked about Elder Holland yesterday, being sick most of the year, missing conferences, losing his dear wife Patricia. This has been a rough year, and I certainly don't speak on behalf of Elder Holland, but this probably might be his toughest year he's ever had. I go back to this wonderful talk that he gave so many different times. It is called Cast Not Away Therefore Your Confidence. If we had the time, I'd let you watch the whole thing. It's like 35 minutes. We're not going to, but I clipped some things that I think will give you some appreciation of the verses I just shared with you. He refers to Moses at Mount Sinai. He refers to Moses and his interaction with Jesus and Satan in Moses chapter 1, and also refers to Exodus with the parting of the Red Sea. So if you can use that as a little bit of a context, these verses will make some sense to you. So listen to Elder Holland as he teaches you wonderful principles about Hebrews chapter 10.
I wish to encourage every one of you today regarding opposition that so often comes after enlightened decisions have been made, after moments of revelation and conviction have given us a peace and an assurance that we thought we'd never lose. In his letter to the Hebrews, the Apostle Paul was trying to encourage new members who had just joined the church, who undoubtedly had had spiritual experiences and received the pure light of testimony, only to discover not only had their troubles not ended, some of them had only begun. Paul says to those who thought a new testimony, a personal conversion, a spiritual baptismal experience would put them beyond trouble, to these he says, call to remembrance the former days, in which after ye were illuminated, ye endured a great fight of afflictions. Then this tremendous counsel, which is at the heart of my counsel to you and the title of my remarks this morning, cast not away therefore your confidence, which hath great recompense of reward. For you have need of patience, that after ye have done the will of God, ye receive the promise. If any man draw back, he warns, my soul shall have no pleasure in him. We are not of them who draw back into perdition. Close quote. In LDS talk, I think that is to say, sure, it's tough. Before you join the church, while you're trying to join it, and after you've joined it. That's the way it's always been, Paul says. But don't draw back. Don't panic. Don't retreat. Don't lose your confidence. Don't forget how you once felt. Don't distrust the experience you had. That tenacity is what saved Moses. when the adversary confronted him, and it is what will save you. Don't give in to that being who is bent on the destruction of your happiness. He wants everyone to be miserable like unto himself. Face your doubts, master your fears. Cast not away, therefore, your confidence. Stay the course and see the beauty of life unfold for you. Of course, our faith will be tested as we fight through self-doubts and second thoughts. Some days we'll be miraculously led out of Egypt, seemingly free, seemingly on our way, only to come to yet another confrontation, like all that water lying before us. At those times, we must resist the temptation to panic and to give up. At those times, fear will be the strongest of the adversary's weapons against us. And Moses said to the people, "Fear ye not. Stand still and see the revelation of the Lord. The Lord shall fight for you." If God has told you something is right, if something is indeed true for you, He will provide the way for you to accomplish it. I believe that in our own individual ways, God takes us to the grove or the mountain or the temple, sometimes the privacy of our own bedroom or closet, and there shows us the wonder of what His plan is for us. We may not see it as fully as Moses or Nephi or the brother of Jared did, but we see as much as we need to see in order to know the Lord's will for us and to know that He loves us beyond mortal comprehension. I also believe that the adversary and his pinched, calculating little minions try to oppose such experiences and then try to darken it after the fact. But that is not the way of the gospel. That is not the way of a Latter-day Saint who claims as the fundamental fact of the restoration the spirit of revelation, fighting through darkness and despair and pleading for the light is what opened this dispensation. It is what keeps it going, and it is what will keep you going. I say to all of you this morning, cast not away therefore your confidence, which hath great recompense of reward. For you have need of patience, that after ye have done the will of God, ye receive the promise. I acknowledge the reality of opposition and adversity, but I bear witness of the God of glory, of the redeeming Son of God, of light and hope and a bright future. I promise you that God lives and loves you, each one of you, and that He has set bounds and limits to the opposing powers of darkness. I testify that Jesus is the Christ, the victor over death and hell and the fallen one who schemes there. The gospel of Jesus Christ is true, and it has been restored, just as we have sung and testified this morning. Fear ye not. And when the second and the third and the fourth blows come, fear ye not. The Lord shall fight for you. Cast not away, therefore, your confidence.
Well, I love how Elder Holland just basically says, don't lose your confidence. Don't forget how you once felt. Don't distrust the experience you had. That tenacity is what saved Moses when the adversary confronted him, and it is what will save you. I can testify to you that what you studied and read is true. Take some time to really study out these verses, and you'll have a powerful experience, and it may very well save you in times of doubt and frustration, and it'll help you look back on those times where you were illuminated with your faith and to be able to stay faithful. I know that's true. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks as always for sharing these messages. We are so grateful that you do that. If you like what you see, please click the like button. We love when you do that. And of course, please go check out our amazingly comfortable gospel themed socks at bombsocks.com. Have a great day, and we'll see you next time. Godspeed. Bye-bye.